I want to just give you a bit of a snapshot of what this event is all about. It's essentially to help you promote yourself and your book and your business, because writing a book is a big deal. And I'm very proud of anyone who does manage to get that done, because so many people don't. They say they want to and then, you know, drop off somewhere along the way. Now, what I do at the State Library is that I have a world-class videographer called Melinda Hurd. I have also a world-class MC called Tim Stackpool, and we get you very ready for this opportunity. You know, anyone who hasn't done much speaking, more than welcome to book in for some time with me so that we make sure that your footage is really worthwhile to you. So the deal is that you do get 20 minutes of footage, you get long shot and close up. And I'll show you in a moment what one of my authors has done with that footage, because you can use it for speaker show reels or, you know, just generally to promote yourself and your business. You can use it in book trailers, putting it on social media, on your website, sending it off to speaker bureaus if you want to become a more, you know, sought after and professional speaker. And also send it off to media outlets with the opportunity to get some free publicity. So what I will do firstly, though, I'll share my screen with you to show you the room that we will be using in February. There we go. Can you see now the Dixon room? That one. Wow. Yes. I mean, how about that signage, Victoria?
That's good. That's the one I was admiring previously and never got it.
Well, I think you maybe, if you want to slip in and get a couple of photos before we actually officially start, by all means, Victoria. So look at that for signage. Isn't it fantastic? Now, of course, the videographer won't be slanted in the way that this image is. This is just the one I got off the State Library website. She'll be front on and, you know, getting some side angles, but yeah, that State Library signage is a bit wonderful, isn't it? So that, from a profile building point of view, is really a big deal. So what I think I'll do now that you've got a sense that what you'll be seeing in a minute was a different room that we used, but I just want to show you how one of my really clever authors has used their footage. And here we are. Now, this is how one of my clients, Karen Chaston, has used her footage, and this is directly off her Facebook page.
Back to our next speaker. Karen Chaston is a beyond loss expert who is passionate about demystifying loss for one and all. Demystifying Loss is the title of her 5th and soon-to-be released book. As a former chief financial officer of a publicly listed company, she's also passionate about business, understanding the correlation between their people and their profits. Karen is the co-founder of the Chaston Centre, a place for meaningful living. It's a place that brings her two passions together in both online and face-to-face programs. For individuals, they assist those who are suffering from any kind of loss to create a better life. For companies, Karen not only challenges the status quo by asking, is there room in the modern workplace to be more human? She then also provides tangible solutions that will assist them to make the best possible product and offer the best possible customer experience to build the strongest possible company. Her motto, life is too short to be suffering from any kind of loss. Unwrap the gift this has brought and then design a life that you live and love. Please welcome to the State Library of New South Wales, Karen Chaston.
Now, I will hit play again in a moment. I just want to draw your attention to the fact that this is what we call the wide shot. You'll see that we get a more close-up view, or Karen is using one of the more close-up views here. In a moment.
Have you ever noticed that in order to solve a problem, you first have to be aware that there is one? Sarah is a senior executive in a very large corporation, and she prided herself on the fact that each and every day she would walk up to all of her staff and she would say, "Good morning, how are you?" She would have a conversation with them. And she honestly believed that she was connected to every single one of her staff members.
Actually, I told you a lie. This is a different video to the one where she used the wide plus the close-up. But that's given you a good sense of how someone has used their footage. There are so many different ways to go about this. So I'll come back to, there we are. That feels a little more comfortable. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of the matter. The next event that I'm running is on the 19th of February. As I said earlier, they're 20-minute slots. There is a fee involved in taking part. And we give you the video footage, both wide angle and close up footage. And one of the things to mention from Karen's little snapshot that you saw there is that she was very strategic about what she provided me to give to the MC to actually introduce her. So that unconsciously, when we're listening to something like that, we call it a third party endorsement. So that's something Karen wrote, but somebody else is saying it about her. And somebody else with a voice like Tim Stackpool in a venue like the State Library of New South Wales is a really important piece of collateral if you're looking to do some profile building. So really, that's kind of what I have to share. And I'll just open you up to asking me any questions that you might have.
So first of all, I want to say congratulations on choosing that new room, which is very beautiful. And, you know, for me, from a photographic point of view and having knowledge of you, the angle that you can shoot from this new room that you have just introduced is wider than the room that we used before.
Yes.
So that is going to give Mel a lot of room, capture a lot of magical moments in the footage. So that's congratulations to you on making that decision, because the room also can add to some of the impact of the message that you want to provide.
This is true.
That's going to be huge, big changer.
Yes.
In regards to the date that you are running the thing, I think it's a very significant date. And I wouldn't mind it at all. I would like to slip in.
Definitely come and get some shots with that signage above you with your book in your hand, because that's what we didn't have last time also.
I know. How cool would that be? Yeah.
I know.
Thanks for that offer.
You're welcome. Is there anything else that you can think of that anyone might want to know, Victoria, that I haven't said already?
Well, you know, I think you are doing an amazing work. And there will be some people that will be wondering about how do I show up on the day? You know, how can Jane help me show up on the day? And not feel too nervous about myself. Maybe I know my message, but then, you know, what else do I need? So that will be ringing in their head.
Yeah.
So one of the key things we did the last time, which was very effective, was when you did that session and you gave me the chance to tell them about how to show up in terms of dressing up and picking up the colors and stuff like that. So if someone is wondering about how to show up on the day, basically just figure out what your book is about, what is the message, what's the color of your book or the title. If you haven't crafted the cover yet, then probably look at what colors are you kind of playing with. So then you show up in those colors and then you can embody the message. And so that's the little thing that I would like to add to it. So anybody who gets this footage will be, you know, looking at that. So showing up on the day you have your message covered. And then, of course, the book, if you have already written the book, what are the colors of the cover? We use that so you can look more presentable. And then you'll be comfortable enough on stage to show off what you've got. Actually,
it is a great tip that, you know, imagine yourself on the stage and how do you want to look? If you're a person who wears a lot of black like me, maybe it's not the right thing to do when there is such a big patch of black signage behind you. Other people had felt sad with the last session because they wore very light clothes and the wall behind them was very light. So that's a really great tip that you've given. But also the question of, well, what do you say? I always say, start with the end in mind. Who is it that you want to be connecting with in terms of your book or your business or whatever it is that you're, really wanting to promote at this event? And think about, well, what do they need to hear from you to feel like you're the person whose book or whose services or who I might want to have on stage at my next event? Let's say you've got a speaker promoter who is somehow watching, they may actually come to the event. I am inviting this time, fingers crossed, we will have a live audience. For the last 2 events, we had COVID restrictions in place. Now, there may well be some restrictions, which mean that perhaps the audience has to wear masks or something. But so far, so good in terms of us actually having a live audience. So I am inviting some speakers, promoters to this event, because I know that several of my speakers are very interested in becoming professional speakers in that field. So that's just an extra thing to throw in as well. So listen, what I might do is sign off for now. Any questions anybody has, by all means, just reach out to me. My email address is jane@writewithjane.com, and we can easily have a session together just to nut out specifically how you could make the most of this opportunity. So Happy New Year, everybody, and let's make 2022 our best year ever.